Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between, let me ask you this. How are you holding up? It's been a tough journey, hasn't it? Don't act surprised. I can see it in your eyes, in the way you move, weighed down as if the world is pressing on your shoulders. You are watching momentum surge. It's almost heartbreaking. You've been through a lot, haven't you? The rough days, the worst ones, the kind where everything seems to fall apart, like sand slipping through your fingers no matter how hard you try to hold on. You thought you were strong enough, smart enough, and capable of handling it. But then, without warning, life has a way of throwing curveballs and everything falls apart. I know that feeling. Trust me, I get it. You wake up hoping today will be different. You think today might finally be the day things turn around. But no, life has a way of kicking you when you're already down, doesn't it? It's the cosmic punchline, just when you think it couldn't get worse. And yet, you're still here, still fighting, still pushing through, still hoping that tomorrow holds something better. Well, here's something you should know. You're right. But don't get too ahead of yourself. Let me explain. Tough times don't last forever. I know. It's something people often say to comfort you. They want you to believe that eventually things will get better, that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. But I'm not here to offer empty promises. I'm not a motivational speaker telling you to stay positive or keep your head up. That's not my approach. I'm here to tell you something real, the harsh truth that most people try to avoid. The truth is simple. Hard times don't last, but they certainly feel like they do. Now let me clear something up. You've been misled. You've been told this comforting lie that things will magically improve if you just wait long enough, that the universe will somehow work itself out, and that everything will fall into place. But the reality is, bad times don't end on their own. No, they don't just vanish like a bad dream. You have to make it through them. You have to fight your way through, even if it means clawing your way out of the darkness, because no one is going to do it for you. And here's the surprising part. You can do it. Oh, I know you didn't expect me to say that, did you? You thought I was going to tell you that life is nothing but endless misery. But that's not the case. Deep down, you know something? You've already been through more than most people could ever handle. You've endured the worst, and yet you're still here, maybe scarred, maybe bruised, but still standing. That's where the real surprise is. Bad times are like shadows. They show up, darkening everything, making you feel like light will never return. But shadows only exist because of light. They need something to hide behind, something to obscure. And you, my friend, are that light. You might not see it yet, but it's there. It's been inside you all along, even when everything seemed to try and extinguish it. That inner light is what gets you through the hardest times. It's what keeps you going when everything else is falling apart. You thought the tough times would break you, didn't you? But here's the truth. They didn't. They tried. Oh, how they tried. But every time they knocked you down, you got back up. Maybe not immediately. Maybe you needed some time. But you got up. And that's the part they didn't expect. Tough times are bullies. They thrive on fear and weakness, on making you feel small and powerless. But the moment you stand up to them, the moment you refuse to let them define you, they start to lose their power. They begin to shrink, fading away into nothing. Now, I won't lie to you. Bad times will come again. They always do. Life works that way. Just when you think you've got things figured out, just when you think the coast is clear, life throws another challenge your way. But here's what makes a difference. You've been here before. You know how this plays out. You've gone through the worst and come out stronger on the other side. So the next time hard times show up, you won't flinch. You won't cower. You'll stand tall. Because you'll know the secret. The secret that changes everything. Bad times don't last. But you do. That's right. You endure. You survive. And that's something that tough times can never take away from you. No matter how much they push you, no matter how much they hurt, they can't break you. Because here's the thing about bad times. They're temporary. They pass. They're like a storm that causes chaos. But eventually, it clears. The skies will open up again. The sun will shine. And you'll still be standing. Now, don't get me wrong. Tough times are called that for a reason. They're hard. They tear at you until you don't recognize yourself anymore. But that's part of the process, isn't it? They strip away everything, illusions, masks, everything you thought you knew about yourself. And when it's all over, you're left with something real. The truth of who you are. And that truth, that's where your strength lies. Because here's the truth you've been avoiding. Life is messy. It's full of pain, heartache, and struggle. But it's also full of beauty, resilience, and hope. The tough times are just one part of the story. They're not the end, but most people let them define them. They let the darkness swallow them. But not you. No, you're different. You've been through too much. You've felt too much to let hard times win. That's why you're still here. That's why you're still standing. Because you know the truth. No matter how bad things get, no matter how dark the days become, there's always a way out. And that way out, it's you. I know it sounds a little cliche, doesn't it? But it's true. You've been searching for something to save you, when all along, you had the answer inside you. You never needed saving. The hard times were never going to last because you were always going to outlast them. And now, it's time to prove it. It's time to face the darkness head on and say, is that all you've got? Tough times are cowards. They thrive on fear and doubt. But when you stand up to them, when you refuse to let them control you, they start to fall apart. And you start to rise. It won't be easy. It never is. But the best things in life never come easy, do they? The greatest rewards are earned through hardship, through pain, through sacrifice. And in the end, it's all worth it. Because bad times don't last forever, but the lessons, the strength, the resilience you gain, those things last. They stay with you long after the storm has passed. And that's the real punchline. Tough times are just a joke. Life's cruel little trick. But now you're in on it. Now you know the punchline. And that knowledge, that's power. So when the bad times come again, and the darkness tries to swallow you whole, remember this. You've been here before. You've survived worse. You've fought harder battles and you've won. Bad times don't last forever, but you do. I hope this fits your request.